You know, it's funny how some buzzwords just kind of explode onto the scene,
Right.
and then poof, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, remember blockchain back in, what was it, 2015?
Oh, yeah, the crypto craze.
Everyone and their cousin couldn't stop talking about it.
That was everywhere.
But then
Yeah.
it kind of felt like the revolution stalled, you know?
It's true. A lot of hype at first, but the tech, it wasn't really there yet.
Yeah, especially for actually using cryptocurrency, like day to day.
Oh, for everyday stuff. Forget it. The speed, the fees, it was a nightmare.
Total roadblock.
Yeah.
Like being promised a flying car, but getting a really clunky first plane.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But here's the thing, right? Even though the hype died down, blockchain itself,
Yeah.
it never really went away.
That's for sure.
It's like this underlying tech just brimming with possibilities, just waiting, you know? So let's do a quick level set. For anyone who hasn't been glued to the blockchain news cycle, what is it really?
At its simplest, think of it kind of like a digital ledger, a database, but way more secure, way more transparent.
Right.
But here's the kicker. It's not controlled by some big company, some central authority.
No.
Nope. It's distributed, spread across a whole network of computers.
So like a shared Google Doc,
Huh.
but like on steroids.
Exactly. Way more secure. Because it's decentralized, no one entity can mess with the info.
Okay, so no one person can just go in and change things.
It's virtually impossible.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it. It's literally an unbreakable chain of records, each block linked to the one before it. Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Okay, now you've got my attention. Seriously, how do we know it's that secure? What's stopping someone from sneaking in, changing a tiny little thing?
Cryptography. That's the secret sauce.
Oh, here we go. Tech jargon time.
No, but it's actually pretty cool. Think of it like each transaction is a unique lock on a chain. You change one tiny thing.
The whole thing breaks.
Exactly. It disrupts the whole sequence. It would be instantly obvious.
So it's like a built-in security system? That's incredible. But, and I know this is basic, when people hear blockchain, they think Bitcoin.
Totally. It's understandable. Bitcoin was like the poster child for blockchain, you know?
Yeah.
But it's important to remember, Bitcoin, that's just one use of blockchain. One use case. It's like saying the internet. It's just for email.
Oh, I like that.
Right. The real power of blockchain, it's in its versatility. It can do so much more.
Okay, so if blockchain's the internet, Bitcoin's Hotmail, let's say. Sure. The point is there's a whole world out there. So what else are we doing with it? What else can it do beyond the whole crypto thing?
Now that's where it gets really interesting.
So we've talked about how blockchain is this like crazy secure, super transparent way to keep track of information.
Right.
But how does that actually play out in the real world? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, one of the coolest applications, I think, is smart contracts.
Okay.
And I know the name sounds like something out of like a sci-fi movie.
It does make you think of like self-aware legal documents.
Right. Like they're going to get up and walk away.
Exactly.
But really, smart contract, they're not about AI or anything like that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
more about, think of it like self-executing agreements.
Okay.
So imagine you could set up like an automatic payment that only goes through once a contractor, let's say, marks a project as complete online. That's
Oh.
kind of a simplified way to think about how these smart contracts can work.
So it's like the agreement's already there, all set up,
Exactly.
and as soon as, boom, the conditions are met, it just like happens.
Just like that. No middleman, no paperwork, just pure efficiency.
That's got to be huge for businesses, right?
Absolutely. And the thing is, it's not just some futuristic idea.
It's not.
No. We're already seeing companies use this stuff. Like, take supply chain management, for example.
Okay.
You remember how we talked about blockchain being this unbreakable chain of records?
Yeah, like a digital trail that can't be messed with.
Exactly. Companies, big ones, like IBM, they're using it to track products.
Really?
Oh, yeah. From the very beginning, from like raw materials, all the way to the consumer. Every step, from a farm to a processing plant, shipping container, store shelf, it's all on the blockchain.
So instead of having those like clunky paper trails or databases that don't talk to each other,
Which, let's be honest, are a mess.
the worst. Everything's just right there on the blockchain, easy to see, easy to check.
And secure. Can't forget that. Which brings us to things like food safety.
Oh, right, because you can track where everything came from.
Instantly. Let's say there's, I don't know, some kind of foodborne illness outbreak.
Oh,
With blockchain, Boom! Investigators can track that contaminated product back to the source, like that.
More guessing games.
Exactly. No more better recall everything just to be safe. It could completely change how we deal with those kinds of situations.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having a digital detective, but like on call, 24/7.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just food, right? We're talking identity verification, tracking diamonds, even like streamlining healthcare records. It's amazing.
Okay, so we're talking about like potentially revolutionizing tons of industries.
The potential is huge. And here's where it gets really interesting for you personally. Imagine a future where all your important documents, your educational records, your professional certifications, even like your medical history, it's all stored securely on a blockchain.
So instead of digging through files, waiting for who knows how long for stuff to get faxed back and forth.
Right. Who even uses fax machines anymore?
Seriously. This would be like having a digital vault.
Exactly.
All your important stuff that only you have the key to. Pretty powerful stuff.
It really is. Putting people back in control of their own data, that's a big deal.
Huge. But, and there's always a but, isn't there?
There are always trade-offs.
What about the downsides? I mean, no tech is perfect. What are some of the concerns you've heard about blockchain?
Oh, for sure. It's not all sunshine and roses. One of the big ones is, can it actually handle it?
Handle what?
Everything. All the transactions, if this really went global, we're talking massive scale.
Right, because if it's slow or it crashes.
It's not really useful then, is it?
Not so much. And what about the environment? Didn't they say all that crypto mining uses a ton of energy?
That's another valid concern, especially those early systems, like proof of work.
Right, the one with the crazy math problem.
Exactly. Resource intensive for sure. But again, the tech's not standing still. Developers, they're working on this.
So there are solutions.
There are always solutions, like proof of stake, for example. We touched on it earlier, but
Right, instead of computers racing to solve equations, it's more about users.
putting up their own crypto, like a kind of collateral.
Right, to verify transactions.
Exactly. Way more efficient, way better for the environment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
But even if the tech is there, what about people actually using it?
Ah, the age-old question, adoption.
Because it can be amazing, but if nobody's using it.
It's not very revolutionary.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It takes time. Look at the internet, right? It wasn't like, boom, everyone's online.
True, very true. It's all about showing people how it works.
The benefits, the security, the transparency, the potential to actually save money.
Right, because once businesses see that,
Then they'll jump on board, and then everyone else follows it.
it's like we're still in the early days of blockchain.
Oh, absolutely. We're just scratching the surface.
Who knows what we'll be able to do in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's kind of exciting.
It really is. Blockchain isn't just some tech thing. It's a whole shift
A shift.
in how we think about trust, about transparency, about how we interact, not just with like institutions.
Like governments, banks, all that.
all of them, but with each other too.
So it's not just a tech revolution. It's a,
Societal one almost. And that's what makes it really fascinating.
because it goes way beyond just ones and zeros in a computer.
It's about how we use it, how we shape it.
Wow. So as we wrap up our deep dive here
Yeah.
into the world of blockchain, I have to ask, what possibilities do you see? Our listeners, I mean. What could this change in your world in the years to come? It's a big question, but
It's the right one. Because the future of this, it's not written in code.
it's not.
It's being written right now.
By all of us. And that, everyone, is a wrap on another deep dive. We hope this gave you a new perspective on blockchain, beyond the hype, beyond the headlines. Until next time, stay curious.